want running backs to take it the distance after every rep? Why do they do that?
Really, that's something that was built into Dalvin Cook's DNA, Alex Madison's DNA when we got here. So it wasn't necessarily a big emphasis from us. We want guys to finish, even if they get held up a little bit in a pile, make sure that they're finishing through. Generally, we would say 20 or 25 yards at places I've been, but that's just in their DNA already. And one thing you might take a look at too is how they finish when they don't have the ball, when someone else gets the ball. It's really impressive. And when you got a guy with a talent like Dalvin kind of leading the way in that aspect, guys that come in like a Ty Chandler, you kind of don't have any other choice but to watch that guy and kind of emulate him.
What have you seen from Chandler? Size up the right guard battle, since that seems to be the only real big starting position battle on offense you guys have.
Well, we're evaluating every day. We're evaluating these guys and everything they do, from meetings to individual to out on the practice field. And we've got several guys that are very capable of playing that position. So we feel good about that, whoever ends up kind of really solidifying that spot. But, right now, Jesse's been doing a great job with the ones. But we also have mixed in other guys as well at that spot. And Chris Reed is doing a nice job, and Ed Ingram is doing a nice job. There's just some things, as a rookie, it's going to take you a minute to get the techniques that we're asking, whereas Jesse's such a veteran. He's been in so many systems that he's done a lot of things a lot of different ways. So probably picked it up a little bit faster with a new system.
Wes, when it comes to moving receivers in spots to play multiple positions, tight ends too, and even throwing in pre-snap motion, all these things you do to try to make the defense not go. Do you find that there's other limits to how many different things you do to try to stay ahead of the defense? Or are you finding it, as you have your system on the one where the defenses can account for more of those options?
Yeah, really the ability to have just about every formation you can think of, where each guy can play in any one of the spots. So if you're in a 3-by-1 formation, there's really 6 different variations. If you're talking, YFZ, FYZ, the various places that you can put those guys. Ultimately, when you're game planning and you're seeing something and you're seeing that you can potentially get a matchup, you don't want to be hamstrung by your own system where, I'd like to do this, but we really can't get them there. We don't have that. So just having the flexibility to do that. And when you start it off at the beginning, it feels like a lot to those guys. But through the spring, they handled it really well. And it just gives us the ability to, now it's seamless as they go out there. They know every one of these formations. And if we feel like we can get an advantage by putting Justin or Adam or whoever it may be in at the number 3 spot, at the number 1 spot, the 2 spot, then we just have the ability to do that, and it's nothing new for them at that point.
Couple of days we've seen receivers in bunch sets and stacked formations. What are the advantages to grouping receivers like that?
Well, I think we do have a mix of condensed splits as well as spreading it out. You hear defense or offenses say a lot that you want the defense to have to defend every blade of grass. Well, and then why are we going to tighten everything up? Well, there's also more gaps created in the run game. We have receivers that sift the backside. I mean, Kupp was one of the best at it. That kind of create an extra gap, almost as if you had another tight end in the game, even if we're in 11 personnel with 3 wide receivers. So it can create some problems with the defense where you may have some gaps that kind of get added there in a personnel that they're not used to. They're used to more of a spread out type formation. But just varying the ways that we do everything we can do. Empty formations, no huddle, condensed, with just giving the defenses a lot of different things to prepare for.
Along those lines, adding to the one fence and the block. How does this group compare to a guy like Kirk?
Well, honestly, it's hard to compare to Cooper Kupp in that aspect. Cooper would come to us early in the week with run ideas, not only pass ideas, but run ideas where he was involved blocking. I mean, that's just what kind of psycho Cooper Kupp is. So, it'll take a little bit, but he understood. He listened when the line coach was giving his run presentation as far as techniques, blocking. He asked questions. So all the things that he did in the pass game are really special, but he was really special mentally in all other aspects.
That's a first, right?
First for me,
For a
absolutely.
wide receiver to suggest run plays on which he blocks.
For a guy who, leading the league in receiving and is coming in saying, I think this run would be good. I can help seal the edge right here. It's rare.
Did you share that with Justin? What was his reaction?
Well, I think Justin has been so successful already, but these guys have a respect for each other. He's seen a lot of the LA film, just putting in a system. So I know those two have great respect for each other, and they're going to do a little bit different things in both the pass game and the run game. So, we just want to try to put him in the best position to succeed. Cooper was playing more of a slot position more often, even though we can move guys around. So, just by the nature of his position, he'll be doing a little bit different things than Cooper, but they both are really outstanding players.
Would you say most of the film you watch is 2021 Rams, or do you mix in Vikings from last year too, or what are some other inspirations?
We try to, when you're installing a system, the guys don't always love watching other players. They like to watch themselves if possible. So, like concepts, we try to incorporate as much as possible. But we did have to watch some Rams film. The good thing is you go through a spring and you're gaining an inventory and you're switching out clips and you're showing. So now when we're installing these plays, we can show almost exclusively Vikings film as opposed to maybe some game clips.
When it comes to the depth of receivers, do you need to see them put the pads on to have a sense for what everyone can do, or have you been able to pick that up so far?
I think the pads on is always pads on and real game experience is always going to be kind of a better indicator, but we feel really good with where we're at, and we actually feel like we're going to have some tough decisions at the end here when it comes down to it because of the talent and depth we have with that group.
Where's Kirk at, just as far as his progress? He's talked about the fact that it's taken some time and he's trying to still learn a bit. Where do you perceive him to be at, 5 days or 4 days into training camp?
I think Kirk is exactly where we want him to be at this point. We really challenged the guys when we left, really all the guys when we left in the spring to make sure that when we started camp, it wasn't starting from ground zero, that we picked up exactly where we left off. And so I've been really impressed with how these guys have come in and understood the detail, and our coaching staff has done a great job making sure they were prepared.
Do you feel like the added jog through session, it's a lot of time jogging through sometimes, but it's still like all the mental aspects and all the things that you need to do for every play. I mean, it's kind of, do you feel like you get as much as you would if guys were going full speed?
Without the physical aspect, absolutely. A lot of this game is mental details, assignment, alignment. So we get a lot from it, and when we two-spot these walkthroughs, which we haven't done everywhere I've been, it was something Sean did in LA that I really liked a lot because people learn better by doing than watching. So we get an opportunity for guys down the line to actually get the reps, and then they'll be more prepared when they do have to play, or if someone gets hurt along the season, they'll be that much more prepared.
Thanks.